I'm a little surprised. I thought Goomba had some Greek players, but I could be wrong.
Well, Celery's...
Is it Celery Greek? That's who I thought was
no,
Greek.
he's not Greek. He's either... I think he's Dutch. Well, no, he's Swedish.
Oh gosh, I'm like way off.
Right. I think the Enigma player is British. I've played with him before, I can't really remember. I don't really care about nationalities. I know they're not Greek. Unless the Ember player is Greek, or the Void player is Greek.
Okay, I was just completely mixing Celery up with someone else. Doesn't really matter. They're going to be going for the Roshan. Bad Boy is falling quickly, and Goomba not quite in position, especially with his ults on CD.
Yeah. There's still 100 seconds from the black hole. There's 30 seconds from the chrono, and
that's the scary thing, right? Their cooldowns are super long.
Don't go down. I wouldn't be surprised. Or they could just swing bottom and get the racks. I think that would be 100 times better than going mid right now. If they just, you know, bypassed that, went like this, I think that's way better than getting the tier 2.
Well, it looks like they agree with you. Alpha Ninja just gonna poke at the ranged racks a little bit more. I really like also that he went for the bail. I was, when I was asking about going the blink or something else first, we've been seeing
I was
pucks
considering it more.
It's interesting.
I think blink's just better because it synergizes both the rest of his team in.
Oh no. Never mind, we have TP's out. Orchid doesn't stop them. So I thought maybe they were going to be able to throw the shuriken, but it looks like a no. Alpha Ninja going to blink away even though Slash blinks forwards. Not quite going to get it, but they had Chronospeed on to the core. He might just be fine, especially since that Shackle was not the one of dreams. They're going to Phantasm, and Ember Spirit is deleted from the game. There's the Veil going out onto poor Celery. He's going to get dropped down. Shuriken is going to be flying around. They still don't have Black Hole. The leap forwards with that reality lift, and now they're working again onto Celery, bringing him down. And Pasha, he is not done yet. He knows he's got an Aegis. He can play as aggressively as he likes. Swap from Xena, trying to make sure that he's just fine. Power shot, not going to bring him down. Sitting at 52 health there.
They knew he was alone. They chronoed him. They tried to kill him. He gave no shits. He turned and killed them.
It's rough. Let's just put it that way. This game is rough for them.
Pretty much the way they got into this is just picking weaker lanes, and Polarity's just playing better and exploiting the weaknesses. Like, Polarity's craft is really based on momentum. And Chaos Knight got it. Like, I think it's... Okay, the nature of the heroes is fairly hit or miss, but when you play it perfectly, it'll still be completely hit or miss. It's based on if certain things work for you or not. And nothing's not gone for him this game.
Also, I think a part of the problem with the draft, they have really good team fight on Goomba, but of course it's super cooldown dependent. There's going to be a swap again, just continually saving this CK. Puck going to jump on out. He does have Dream Coil in 9 more seconds, so he could decide to jump into this, but time dilation on all of them. They can't fight under this. Pasha doesn't care. He's just going to run up. He was like, whatever, let's burn this Aegis. I don't need it anyway. This should be just in time for the time dilation to wear off, so they can go back in. Track's going to be coming out again. Shuriken bouncing through the entire team. They're veiled up, taking extra damage from that business. Pasha not quite able to seal the deal, has to be more careful now, does not actually have, there he goes, starting to arm the toggle. There's a nice black hole onto 2 and the Deathwood flying about. Finally though, the Dream Coil onto all 4 of them, but they don't stop the Deathwood, they only stop the black hole. And Goomba finding something big, although of course the cost of losing a lot of damage. They'll find DK Phobos too, there is no escape for this little man, so he's just going to try to buy some time and get on out. And while all of this is happening, oh, that was not the power shot. But it's fine, DK Phobos will die.
Eventually. Very slow. Polarity, they kind of saw gold and went for it, and it was a bit too ambitious.
And that's what you need to do.
Even with the Aegis, it's... Yeah. When the Aegis got popped, like, time dilation was up, so they couldn't, like, re-go immediately.
Cool.
The black hole was, like, perfect in terms of the puck went in, orbs into the black hole, or phases into it, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's only going to work once. Like that, they need to take that hold and really do something with it. Unfortunately, Ember's still 1200 off his Battle Fury. even when he gets it, I don't think it's going to do anything for him. He's just going to get melted. Like, he has to dodge everything, like, perfectly for the item to have any impact in the fights, I feel like. It's going to help him farming, sure, but space on the map I don't think will be there.
And they do a good job at it.
Yeah, on the other hand, that was a 5k gold swing for them. Amber, who was not looking like he was going to get an averagely timed Battle Fury, is now well on the way to that 25-minute Battle Fury timing, which is considered average, and it's something. The other thing I wanted to point out is we have a Vanguard on Enigma, probably building into a Crimson Guard, because you never just stop at Vanguard. It's one way to deal with the Chaos Knight and all the Treants and so on. I've just not seen it before, as... I mean, it's not terribly common on the Enigma.
I've seen it a few times and I can understand the logic, but I think
oh, there's gonna be a Dream Coil just used to blow up the Faceless Void. They do not want to get caught in a Chronosphere. The Midnight Pulse is dropped. Pasha taking a lot of damage since he's so high health, but the range Drax getting incredibly low. The Death Sword is dropped. I'm not okay. With the Sleight of Fist, they do manage to pick up one. The Dream Coil catches out Lil. That's a big kill if they can catch it. Alpha Ninja kind of stuck in the trees and now really stuck in the trees with the Shackle Shot coming through. Pasha getting stunned up by the Coconuts, doing good work, but he pops that Phantasm. Alpha Ninja dropping his spells every shuriken, jumping around, and suddenly all this damage coming out of Polarity. They do still lose Alpha Ninja. Can they find their way to freedom? Pasha will burn down. All the toggles. Is he gonna be fine? No. He does end up going down. Can they kill off the Ember as punishment? Yes, but they'll lose the Nature's Prophet too. These team fights are just not going Polarity's way.
The sad part is I really don't think they mind. Like, every kill they got was tracked. If you look at the gold change, it's equal. On top of that, Void diebacked, so next time, if he gets caught out, that is racks, like 100%. Unless they dive tipples, you know, and do Russian things. But that's really scary for Goomba because Polarity can just keep running at them and doing that. And if they ever like want to do it smart and not, you know, go past the racks when someone's brought back and get caught out, then you know they can do it cleanly as well.
I didn't even realize until you mentioned that. That's actually terrifying. Normally, when you're 15,000 net worth behind and you get a 4-for-4 trade, you get 5k gold. Goomba got, you know, they got some money, but they didn't really take anything from Polarity, and that is terrifying. On the upside, Ember Spirit does have the Battle Fury. He's only, you know, 1,500 or so away from Chrysalis. I think he has to go for just the damage right now if they're hoping to hold.
That's not metaphorical.
I think you have to go Blink, personally, because you can disjoint like half the stuns that are giving you a problem. You can not get Reality Rifted, which is, again, half of his problem. But
does it really matter if you can't do any damage if you're alive, though?
Does it really matter if you can do damage if you're dead?
This is true. Problems, we've got problems.
The thing is, he needs both, is what we're getting at.
Those
And
blades don't kill
Blink
me,
is
that's
definitely
true.
the better opening because it allows you to get to the second one faster in terms. Okay, you might not farm like what hit as hard, so your farm speed pushes down a bit, but you can push waves with a Blink you otherwise wouldn't with a Crep.
Yeah.
Slightly less relevant against Bounty, but you know, if you know where he is, you're safe.
I have a feeling they'll object.
Yeah, I don't know, he basically needs 2 or 3 items, and that's the problem they're at. Windrunner also needs several items, like she's 1,000 away from her axe, then she needs a BKB. Then she needs some damage that isn't Maelstrom, and it's just like 10k away for like 3 or 4 of their heroes.
Before trying to bypass them.
And for Polarity, it's here and now, and they can still scale later. They don't have to end it now. They just want to.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. There is already a Monta up on the Chaos Knight. We can see how much of a pain those illusions have been for Goomba to finish. Polarity going back down to focus on bottom. Aegis isn't, or Roche isn't going to be up for now. It's up. I was wrong. I was reading the clock and I was like, that looks like it's pretty soon. But yeah, that's a really short Roche respawn time.
I think that was pretty much instant, like 2 seconds. And if they have the Prophet, just keep pushing this wave in. Someone goes mid, like ideally the Puck. They delay the Roche for maybe a minute or 2. Maybe Pasha can finish a heart by the time they've taken the Aegis. If he even wants to go for a heart, I just think
What?
AT or something. But if they can't kill him, he is going to kill them. Or his illusions will kill them and he'll
That's
sit
all
and
I gotta say.
watch and laugh.
What?
You know? Like, he has
I
options.
was like clearly
Or if he just
behind
gets 3
him.
missiles to
We
tequila,
were
that
not
might even be
engaged
enough
in
to
combat.
buttload of strength.
That was a silent takedown, you bastard.
Yeah, they have options on polarity. There's just... And now this Chaos Knight, we saw how much trouble it has been for them to bring him down. He's tankier now, he's got the Manta. When he turns that omelet on, he's just... They're in for a world of hurt. Bounty Hunter preemptively getting tracks off. Now, Goomba, if they can do what they've been doing, getting the time dilation on all 5 of the heroes, it's really a point where Polarity have to back out. They can't fight under the effects of time dilation.
Without a blink, that's hard to rely on. Because I think that's actually bigger than anything else that's happened in the past few fights. Like, he's catching nearly everyone with it. With a blink, he definitely will be able to catch more, but he needs that item first. I wouldn't even be surprised if he like sells Iron Talon and get a blink when it's close enough. Because a surprise blink could really catch Polarity out. Maybe if they hold an Aegis push, they can stall the game long enough for Ember to actually get the items he needs. And you can always win with an Ember.
Like, oh, there's my smoke.
You know, you have to play like a god, but you can always win.
You're not wrong. Ember is one of those heroes, that's why... In my opinion, Polarity having all of those units, it may eventually come back to bite them, but it's not quite there yet. And Ember, he does end up going the damage, not the blink, but as you said, it's a hard call. He's gonna have to really hope his team protects him here. There's one reality rift, and then the silence. He's gone.
Yeah, like... personally, I just can't see the reason for going for it, like... But he feels the reason is he needs damage, so maybe his team can like frontline enough that he can skirt around and get multiple fights up throughout a fight. Like between Crimson and Meh, the team's not squishy, but I wouldn't say they're tanky.
We did just
Especially
reality
if
rift and Eidolon. It was...
Gotta get that farm.
Yeah. I mean, the vision here, you can see, oh, they actually have a good idea of where Skullbow is. They really want to know. While the dire vision just kind of... It's okay.
I'm surprised they're fight planning this so much. Like, Low could just go pushing top, draw one hero away. They don't have to, like, brute force it with 5, I don't think.
It's really feeling like they want to. Polarity want this Rax. They want it now. Orbs again coming through, giving them some vision. With all of these tracks up, they've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. Are they going to drop the Death Ward here? Haven't thrown it out yet, just the auto attacks. Pasha actually took a lot of damage there. He has to be careful. He will lose the Aegis. Off the back of doing about 100 damage to this Rax.
Oh,
A level 4 Maledict doing work. Even if he armlet toggled the first thing, I'm pretty sure the second would have killed him anyway, so... This is why I think after how the past 2 went, they kind of screwed up and dived a bit too much. They want to split the lanes. And all 3 lanes are literally pushing in, so it might be death by 1,000 cuts, but it's better than prolonging the game by 20 minutes because Chaos Knight can't quite force a Rax at this point.
Well, mid tower has been denied. We do have some units pushing in on the top lane, so we'll see whether the Treants can get that as well. Nature's Prophet now also attacking the ranged Rax in middle, beginning to get work done on there.
Missy just needs like 200 more for his heart, so that might be enough of a confidence booster for them to try again without an Aegis. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep doing what they're doing though and wait. Like Low can sit and farm. Speaking of, he's been farming like really well this game.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it, but you know, he's casually got a Aghanim, Scepter, Mule, Orchid.
To be fair, when
Nature's Prophet things.
when he played on PP, he still got like really good farm with a less like prioritized hero. So I'm not surprised he can do it with a Prophet.
Now, we do have buybacks up on a couple of heroes. It looks like Goomba being very diligent about saving theirs for buyback. We're going to see push coming in top and middle again. Ember Spirit's pretty much able to handle these Treants right now, but we've got Illusions poking at the tower. It is still less than 100 damage done to it. Like, this is the slowest siege I've ever seen. It's really paper cuts.
Yep.
Super ranged creep. Oh, Pasha, he's not going to get shackled there. He's just going to walk on out. Puck jumps in, has already dropped the veil, going to jump on out, but no, they pull back. And now Pasha caught in the chronosphere. The only one, actually. Time dilation, all the swap. They're going to lose themselves, Zena, but it doesn't matter. There's the stun out onto the window, and there's the black hole, though. It manages to hit on one, but it's not enough. And suddenly there are a million CKs all around. Phantasm has been popped. The damage coming out. Celery not quite dead yet, but a few more auto attacks. Flash Strike is still in that wind run, but will he end up going down? Really good job there, getting a crit, getting rid of all of those illusions, and so they lose the Chaos Knight. Windrunner buys back and is back in this game, but Lil forced to run away, shackled to the puck, and they will both be going down. Alpha Ninja first, Lil to follow, and another disastrous push for them. Nature's Prophet trying to get the middle business done, but just one crit from that Ember Spirit, and you get nothing.
One crit, 6k gold. Now he has money for a rapier and a blink nearly. No, I suppose crit. You know, we'll play standard Dota, but
We've seen this game before, where a team with a CK and a Nature's Prophet failed to push, and then it's gone.
I think they just really screwed up, like, with the Aegis getting popped, and then the Heart coming out. That was like a window they really wanted to synergize, because it's a really big peak. Like, Heart's just, like, a scene pushing item these days, especially with how they're doing it. But, you know, just go up, hit it a few times, pop your mantle when a shackle comes in or something, disjoint it, back off, you've got bench if you need to get out of any of the ults, and then just heal up with Heart, rinse, repeat. And Goomba don't have a way of stopping that unless there's a big initiation from them. However, that window really quickly fades when Ember has enough damage to just kill the creep waves or basically make you back off before you hit the racks.
Yeah.
The big upside for them is that they're nearing a hex on the puck, and they're working towards one, I'm guessing, on the bounty.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, just laughing at the
Time
game.
to get inside.
So if they don't get, like, a Lotus Orb really soon for Goomba, and I don't think anyone's going to get it unless it's for Void or the Enigma. And let's be honest, who buys Lotus Orb on Void? People generally will just go Ags. Then the Ember can die. You know, same way as I was saying earlier when he gets caught out by Reality Rifts or whatever. Hex is even better. Fortunately, the puck is like 2,000 away, but hey ho, they have time.
This is not great. It's, what is... What?
Bodies encased in ice.
I just think that with their lineup, Goomba, especially the gold that are now getting pumped into them, Faceless Void, who had pretty much no farm, is suddenly able to, you know, as long as he keeps farming a little bit, he'll have an Ags. And that's when things, they're already pretty scary, I'd argue, with the Ember being so rich, but things are terrifying when not only is the Ember rich, but Chronosphere can be dropped every 60 seconds.
Error. System failure. Cryogenerator
I'm
unstable.
kind of not sure if I think he should go Ags, just because, like, obviously I'm playing with information he doesn't have. He might not know that Bounty has an ultimate orb and is halfway to a Hex. He probably knows Puck is going to a Hex, but doesn't know how close he is. So, well-organized team right there. You know, alright boys, we're ready, let's go. One person's still AFK. Good Dota. But I think getting the Lotus Orb could be more beneficial, because he's the safest person to get it on. He can blink in, Lotus Orb the Ember if he gets hexed, or anyone who gets caught in the front, time leap away, or, you know, time leap even further in and get a better chrono.
Alfred, I've got a tracking
Yeah,
device that can lead me to Nora.
Or is
It's
Enigma getting a
time.
Lotus
Visiting
Orb?
location.
He doesn't have a way of getting out if he
I
blinks in.
imagine the militia will be rather intent on
Maybe
keeping
I'm
our
overstating it, and chrono is just better, because
Like, no, can't do that.
that means Black Hole is no
Thanks.
longer so important to your lineup.
That's what I was hoping for. I'm gonna even be able to make it. Ugh.
Okay, we are gonna see the catch out onto Skitter. He manages to remnant over to the side, the CK illusion doing mad work, but nobody dead yet. A really odd engagement there.
Ah, you did.
And again, CK Illusions just hitting like trucks. In the meantime, they have decided to split. We can see that Lil is desperately working on that top tower. He's going to get it down. Ember Spirit coming in, gets a couple of crits, going to decimate that tree army, but the ranged Rax already taking a lot of damage. And in bottom, we have a full-on team fight. The Phantasms are out. Goomba, they're losing Scarbo, who manages to Time Walker back up to full health. Nature's Prophet kills off the Ember Spirit up in top, and they've finally broken the base here. Rax are down. So many CK Illusions going around. Ember Spirit able to do a bit of damage to them, but now they're working on this ranged Rax. Maybe finally they can do something to this melee in mid. Oh, Puck jumps into all of them, silences them up. Ninja is still there. Didn't actually jump forwards, but they pick off the Ember Spirit. He has no buyback, and that's it. Polarity should be able to take all the Rax here. They still have everybody up and ready. And what just happened there? Just a little mistake there. Somehow the Ember gets picked off in the top lane against Lil.
Well, he tried to man-fight him and got 0 crits, so that was
now
unfortunate.
Enigma gonna fall. They're losing their Faceless Void. Slash on the sidelines getting hit up because there's a full MKB on Nature's Prophet. Everybody who can bind back, but it's not enough. Goomba only have 2 left. 37 minutes in, plus some change from these pauses. 3-man black hole. The Polarity gonna be heading into game 2 up a game.
I want to be there to see it.
Yeah, I think Goomba really needs to...
We lost men on that fight.
Like, they had a really strong draft until I think they went with the Ember. It just kind of didn't synergize with what they wanted. I think it was purely a response to it can kill Prophet in the lane and it can deal with CK as the game goes on. But I think that's just kind of flawed thinking. So maybe they could get something that synergizes a bit better and doesn't let Clarity run away with the laning stage. Because they played so well. Like, I do think Goomba didn't give them the hardest opposition, but like that 2-3 minute team fight they had, they played it pretty much perfectly. For a team that's not been together for that long, I was kind of impressed. And I really like the draft as well. It's just like typical Russian draft, like bounty hunter, run at people.
I think it was a really good job on, as you said, on Goomba. Like, they held that. A lot of teams, you know, you're pretty far behind, you can feel it. They stuck it out, and they showed that their lineup had some potential there. Unfortunately, the Ember pick-off, all Polarity needed to break the base. Either way, guys, we'll get you into game 2 right quick. I'm Llama Down Under. I've been joined by PQMZ. We'll see you again shortly. Please enjoy the break.
The signal led here, but no sign of Nora's cryo chamber. Stay calm. I will find her. We need to get that equipment stable. Victor.
Every night I'm please hurry.
Land is gonna save the city. He really has lost it.
I'm getting near her location. Have you stabilized the cryo generator?
I think so. Can you see her?
Victor, is it safe?
Yes. Yes, of course. Contact me as soon as you find her.
Plenty of tanks still driving around.
There's Nora's cryo chamber. Time to deal with the militia.
That was super ballsy. So does HD. Good. Good boys. Oh. Oh. Everything is bad right now. Feels bad, man. Alright, there you go. We good? Cool? Yeah, we cool. Oh, almost cool. Woo. Come on, come on. There you go. Okay.
Where the hell's our evac? I don't like waiting around on this damn roof. Look, no one knows we're here. The decoy took care of that.
Sniper's out.
Sure hope you're right. The tech on his arm is pretty slick. Oh yeah, I'm sure the guys were thinking that moments before being frozen to death. Someone's touchy. You really think you can win that, man? I know you better than you know yourself.
Hello everybody and welcome back. We're in game 2 between Goomba and Polarity.
Thank you.
Jumping into that draft. Once again, I'm Llama Down Under, joined by PQMZ. I am not 100% sure what to expect. They're actually, normally first bands come out pretty fast. I wonder if Polarity is trying to keep something funky in.
Maybe they were just like, you know, talking about something. Lil was prioritizing what he was saying instead of banning. I wouldn't be surprised if Goomba banned like the Prophet this game, but if Clarity play their cards right, it's really hard to ban something like a Prophet and not let OD or something that a lot of teams prioritize really highly through.
Invoker and so on.
Yeah, like Earth Spirit makes complete sense that they have to ban it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Clarity just first picked the Prophet if bans go as standard.
We need to look out for
It worked really well for them last game. They seemed really comfortable playing that kind of style. They made a few high ground mistakes, but or they could throw a curveball and say, we don't want it this game, so we're not going to give it to you either.
Watch out!
And maybe they get the OD? Can't really... 'cause if they ban... I don't know, say they ban the Wisp, or... No wait, I don't think Goomba plays Wisp as well, so they probably don't care about banning it. Yeah, I don't know, it just feels weird. At the end of the day, it still worked out in their favor.
Yeah, definitely. So, Polarity going to get the OD. They
This is
can...
where you call GG.
No, I actually think that a lot of teams are getting a lot better at handling OD. A lot of the top teams are realizing that if you shut OD down early, he's not one of those mids who can easily flash farm back up. So you can really extend the period of the game.
You can't just safe lane him as well though and have the support around him early to stop that happening. So there are still ways to deal with people dealing with him, which, you know, is what I think will start coming soon.
Not scared, freak.
You know, people finding the ways to, you know, first pick him and not care what's going to happen. Like a lot of heroes have in the past. Like, you know, take Alliance. They give Bulldog like his hero first stage for so many patches in a row, and they still find ways of making him super relevant. People can do the same with OD or Invoker, which, you know, is still possible here.
Nora's life is
Goomba
in
didn't seem
danger.
to favor it
I need
last
to
game.
investigate the cryo chamber.
That's what a sniper
It's really interesting that both of these teams are taking, like, they've dipped really early on into reserve time. I wonder if Goomba are so, you know, used to just banning out the OD that they weren't expecting it.
It might be like, okay, how are we going to deal with this? What do we want to prioritize? There's a lot of counters in the pool. Like, say you consider Nyx like a must-have hero against OD. It might get banned in the next stage, but do you really want to nix this early when you're not sure what you're laning up
Yeah.
against, how you're going to have to run it? Could it be more susceptible to us picking the hero than it is how beneficial it is against OD? Because if it's only good against OD, which is, you know, very rare, but say everyone
Try
else
not
is
to
like
move.
really early BKB heroes or shit like Lifestealer, which is very good against Nyx,
You know how long it's been.
it could be like a bane to you. So they go with something much more standard.
It was
Chen
like
Lone Druid.
dreaming, but
You could ignore a OD if you just push the towers and win the lanes. And LT can actually win the lane against
You
OD,
read me.
especially with Chen helping him out.
Maybe salvageable.
The militia are coming.
Yeah, I
You
think
have to leave.
No, I won't fail her.
Lone Druid Chen, it's a strong opener, it's really good. And I really like that they're not shying away from picking some of these heroes. Obviously, Polarity, there was a little bit of outplay last game, but I don't think the right course of action, you know, is to like pick something easier. Chen can be a bit difficult because you really have to hit your timings, your smokes have to be on point, and it's somewhat luck-based depending on what you get in the jungle. But,
Especially if Polarity just pick Bounty now.
yeah.
That is like the flaw of this opening. If you want Lone Druid mid against OD, who in theory comes out equal if not ahead, Bounty shits on that. Bounty also stops Chen doing what he wants to do as effectively. Really good Chen players can play around with mediocre Bounty players, so I think it kind of just was player based in that respect, but it's what they used to. I suppose Doom's like a slightly more versatile version of the Bounty. He doesn't have to put so much pressure early. He can
You
also
think it's the
like,
support Doom?
well, it doesn't have to be. It could also be an offlane Doom, and then it's slightly harder for Chen to gank him. You can always go and hunt the Chen if he is a 4th position Doom. I don't like Doom so much against either of the heroes though, in terms of like how the fights go, because you don't really care if you Doom alone through it. Okay, maybe you stop him casting Savage Roar on himself, and Mech can still do it. If you Doom the Chen, you're stopping a heal and a Mech, maybe that could be super valuable, but he's generally further back. And if you Doom anyone else, you can just heal them up, so I think it's less for the Doom and maybe more for the laning stage presence, and maybe the ganking. If you just ask for someone, Doom walks in with like a stun creep or something, he can very easily get kills at like level 2.
Victor, you can take them
If
all
he goes
out.
boots first.
Detonate the generator.
No, I need it for Nora.
Definitely, I mean, I don't doubt the Doom. It's just an interesting pickup. I wasn't sure if it was...
Victor?
I mean, it's an early pickup. Maybe they were also worried about it coming out against them, you know? Sometimes you don't want to play an OD into a Doom. They're going to ban out the Faceless Void because then the rules don't want OD with that guy also the Brood Mother.
You're running out of time.
Just kind of very standard banning stuff. If you know the other team has a competent Brood Mother player, which you do, you have to get rid of it. So, for the Venge ban out, do you think Polarity finding anything special there? Like
It's
something
just
like
really
that?
good with like Lone Druid Chen. Same reason it was like good last game with the Aura. You know, it would just fit into the timing that Goomba would probably want to hit.
I could,
And
like, definitely.
I also think Carry Venge is like really good in this kind of lineup, so that would mean it's not just a support hero as an option. You could also run it in that way, so I like it as a ban.
The equipment, it's all gone. I can't save you. Maybe.
I mean,
I
the
think
oh, what were we gonna say?
I think the Doom actually works fairly well against Vigaro as the game like progresses. So it might not be ideal for Goomba, especially as he's quite a greedy hero already. Like if
Let them
Chen
go. We won't see them
does
again.
farm early and then maybe Lone Druid either gets pressured up the lane if he's off lane, or he wants to rotate into the jungle if he's mid, because he feels pressure from like the Doom running at him. They might have like the same problem they did last game where their lineup's slightly greedy, and if they lose the laning stage, they're looking to pretty much just be a 5-man lineup. If they win the laning stage, then they can kind of play the more take away map control and out farm you game while still scaling. This Pugna is interesting though. It's really good against OD for the ward, but the hero is generally pretty bad.
No, yeah.
Even in push lineups, I find it very hard to fit it in unless it's a core position.
And they do end up going for the Batrider. Yeah, as you said, I think mostly, probably the Venge ban was just so they didn't have to deal with early push. But now Polarity also just have a world of different ways of dealing with that stuff. You can pick off a Batrider that kills a push dead. They can use the Wyvern to have the Chen and his creeps kill someone, or the Lone Druid's own bear kill him. Like, it's not great. It's just not a fun lineup to push into.
Yeah, I kind of like how Polarity are opting to deal with it. They haven't gone too all into one thing. Like, they still have deep push through the Wyvern. I think they might want a secondary source of deep push, whether it's mid laner, like Lina or something like that, or that they get a safe lane hero that offers something. So I don't think Wyvern and Bat are quite enough when you have to go through like a mech and maybe some magic resistance creeps. Or if they just want to take the fighting game, they could also go that way.
The nice thing about this Pugna pickup, right, it'll be a bit of a pain to the OD and the fact that the whole lineup will be costing a lot of spells, but I'm just not sold. I guess it depends on where this Pugna goes. Right now it's looking like it could be their mid hero, not the support Pugna. I'm just not super sold on Pugna. I think he's very difficult to make work in a lineup.
I have this really bad feeling it's going to be a support Pugna and I'm going to cry.
You're going to actually cry. Never good.
I'm imagining
Never good.
I
Like,
gotta be imagining it. Who chained a body
I
to
could
a
just
wall?
see it being a support Pugna. And I can completely understand the logic behind it. Like, if you go like 2-1-4, the ward is going to destroy OD until he gets a BKB. But it just feels so all in. And it basically feels like they're trying to cheese a win against a team that they consider better than them. At least it isn't the support Pugna.
Yeah, I actually really prefer this. I think
Anybody seen that anarchy guy?
it's still,
The
I
kid
think,
loved this.
unconventional draft from Goomba, but at least it's not that support Pugna that seems to always have trouble in drafts unless it's clearly a superior team meeting a lower team.
Now the only problem I think they have is, again, if the laning stage
What's
doesn't quite
Ivy
click
doing
for them,
working with the
'cause
bats?
their push is good, their team fight's not the best, but it's good enough to win a game.
And we have a Huskar.
Typical Russian things, I'll address that in a second, but if
I mean, with the
Uber
bat, you know he's out the
actually
gate,
are
right?
able to take the
At
towers
least
that they want
Catwoman
to,
leaves
assert
you
the
alone
map
half the
control and
time.
open it up so they have more room for
Every
farm,
time.
then suddenly their greed pays off a bit. If it doesn't pay off and something like, you know, Huskar happens to you and you lose the game in the first 15 minutes, they can't really recover from that, I don't think. They have okay high ground defense with like Pugna and Gyro, but the rest of the heroes don't really offer anything there. So I think if they fall behind, they're really going to have to like do some YOLO smokes or take Roche.
What's Scarecrow?
And I don't think it's easy to do any of that against Polarity either. I'm not sure how the Huskar really fits in though. I'm not a Huskar believer anymore, and I never was.
It's despite the nerfs, you know, there's some magical damage you can avoid from the gyrocopter. Very good at gap
We all
closing
know you
towards him.
prefer hiding in the dark.
Oh wait, I have it.
Come
Okay,
on,
OD's hitting
get
someone,
down here and
Pugna
fight.
decrepifies
What's
him so you can no
wrong?
longer hit
Run
him,
home
then
to
you
cry
life
to your
break him,
mommy.
he's dead.
That is an
That's-
option.
That's the pick right there. And then, he buys a refresher and an E-Blade. He rinses and repeats when there's no decrep to do it for him. But seriously, I suppose it works as a really strong fighting hero early. They can maybe go into Goomba, but I think it has to be like really far ahead to be able to do that ever since the change.
What's up?
Because you can no longer like really easily armlet toggle all the magic damage. And it's not like they lack physical damage. If the Gyro gets like phase drum early, he hits hard enough that Huskar has to worry about it. Same thing with LD. If you get the, I'm not exactly sure what the true form raw's called, like Savage.
Savage Roar.
Eh,
They're both
No,
called
no, no.
Savage Roar.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, that's some amazing development from Valve. I mean the one that, no, it's Battlecry, right? The one that gives armor and damage when you're in ult form.
Rabid?
No, it's Battlecry.
Battlecry. I thought you meant because like you can Savage Roar on the Lone Druid.
No. When you cast your ult, you get
Yeah,
another
yeah.
ability.
I guess it's
And, like,
Battlecry.
Yeah,
It's not really something I often yell out in team fights. Oh gosh, PQ, the battle cry, it's happened.
Yeah, but you do realize it's
Yeah,
like
you see the bear.
80 damage.
Yeah. It's huge,
There.
but
And he's going to maul the shit out of you. Like, Pascal's very susceptible to that, so I'm not really sure why they went to it. I'm really interested though, because I hate this hero with a passion, but it's been dead for long enough that it might just be interesting.
I mean, as Lil's saying, let's have some fun. They're gonna go for it. Try to see what they can do. Now, Pugna, he's headed out. He's only got a fairy fire. Someone give this man some tangos. And this is a mid-match.